Welcome everyone. I'm super excited for this video because this is the first time I'm doing something like this. I know a lot of you guys, if you come from my Instagram and seen some of the stuff I posted before, it's usually always kind of behind the scenes. So unless you're a client or somebody who's already worked with me in the past, you really have no idea what actually goes on in the back end, how we find the products, how profitable they are, what actually makes the engine run to have a successful and profitable Amazon store. So I'm just going to go through the basics of how an item made us $10,000 in a single month. One item, one SKU, one ASIN on the Amazon seller marketplace. So we're going to go into how much the item cost us, what we sold it for, what the data on a live store actually shows us on how it's performing, and how we actually got there. So stay tuned on the next screen, and I'm going to show you exactly how we got to those details and really how simple it is. All right, everybody. So we're going to start with the basics here on the actual item that we sold. Okay. So this is an item you could find on Amazon. It is from Squirrel Buster. It's a brand that sells this item that looks like it's to help squirrels out, keep squirrels out of this bird feeder, essentially, right? So bird feeder, that's just a glorified bird feeder, you want to call it that, right? And so the first thing that we'll see that's interesting about this item is that there is no buy box. Now, keep in mind, you do not need a buy box on a listing in order to sell inventory, okay? So if we click on here, we can see that there are other buying options, meaning other people who are selling this item, okay? It does not necessarily mean that you cannot sell it if there's no buy box. That's the first thing, okay? So this is the item up front and center. I know you guys have heard me cover Keepa and the other ones in the other videos, but Keepa actually does not work on this listing. It doesn't matter. We have the analytics behind this anyway, but this is the actual item that we are going to be using this example to show us how it made us $10,000 this month, specifically how it made our client $10,000. Okay, so this is the item here. And the next thing I want to do is move over into this nice little spreadsheet. So if you just stay with me here, I can explain to you how this works, okay? So I have this spreadsheet here. This is the ASIN. This is the item. If we want to confirm it, we can go right at the top of this URL browser here. We could see that it ends in 3RQ, which is this same listing, okay? You can verify all this on your own as well. So if we take this item, we knew that the cost is $69.50, all right? And so we went ahead and bought 600 units of this on our client's behalf. All right. We know that it's selling over 1,000 units a month on Amazon. So buying this many units would put us below the threshold, which means that I could sell it probably almost 2 times in a single month. 2 orders of 600 I could probably get rid of in a single month, depending on price, right? But I have over 1,000 in sales on this listing, and I'm only buying 600. So we're good there, right? The next thing we want to look at is the buy box price. Okay. So it's selling at $129.25, putting my profit to $26.76 at a 37% ROI, almost 38%. Okay. So the margin on this is massive, right? Prepping, it's pretty cheap. Storage is going to be cheap as well. And even after some FBA fees and any FBA referral fees, we're looking at about $600 in total prep. Now, guys, I'm reading off these numbers for you because this is what it's going to cost to get this product in. And every supplier that you work with is going to have their prep costs. They're going to have their storage costs, or not their storage costs, their prep costs. They're going to have their packing costs, right? As far as shipping cost, that is going to be based off of where your supplier is relative to where you are sending these products into Amazon. Amazon's going to tell you where to send the products in based on how far away you are from that. Shipping might be, anywhere between $50, could be a couple $100, right? Depending on the quantity of inventory. I think the shipping for this item ended up being somewhere around maybe $600 or $700, right? But we're buying 600 units. It's a lot. So the entire purchase order cost us $41,700. After all units are sold and said and done, we should be profiting $16,057. It's a massive profit for this, all to sell it literally just within, a month, maybe we'll just say worst case scenario, a month and a half, right? So that's a really, really good PO. And now I'm going to show you exactly how the numbers break down and the real performance of what this item did on the Amazon marketplace. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open up. Let me go ahead and open up the page here. All right. So as you can see, This is the Amazon account. I searched for this specific SKU, and in the past 30 days, I've sold 400 of these orders, right? So keep in mind, this is just the past 30 days. We've sold more than that in a further range, right? So if we go back like a custom range to like a month and a half, we're probably gonna have closer to 500 orders, right? But we're just looking at the profit we made in this single month. Okay. So I can scroll down here. I've sold these, a week ago, 5 days ago. I've been selling this pretty consistently at this buy box price, which we already saw here. Now keep in mind the buy box, when we say buy box, this listing obviously doesn't have a buy box right now, right? But this is just the price that it is competitively selling at right now. Okay. So I go down here. I mean, this thing is selling pretty damn consistently at this price. I mean, we're going back 6 days ago. I got pages and pages of this here. So I know that I'm selling this, as I showed you guys. I'm not just making it up that I sold it at that price. This is the last 30 days of this product being sold. Okay. So why that's important? One, because I know that it's selling at the price that I expected it to, which means that I'm going to be getting that profit. Now, if we want to look at what the actual details and numbers of that are, this is our sheet. Let me move my camera a little bit smaller there so it's not in the way for you guys. So there's a lot of numbers here on this sheet, but the most important that I want to look at is what the P&L for the month of July was. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into this section here, and I'm going to pull in this number here, which is $9,404.97. Okay. Now this is after pretty much all of the fees that were associated with this product for this month, right? We have about 13.49% ROI there, but that's also based off of all of the sales, all the fees and shipping and everything, right? If we look at the gross profit, we looked at about 3,700 in here, 37%, which is basically roughly what we got over here. Okay, this is pre-shipping, and then that the shipping factor price in here might change that. Okay, along with any other Amazon fees that they could have that Amazon could have tacked in there. But it's a pretty rough number, but it gives us an accurate representation of what it is. And I'm going to add it on the screen shortly so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But if we're just looking at raw numbers here, we know that this store performed and made our client $9,404.97 just in the past 30 days. Okay. Now, if we just do a rough calculation here, okay, so I'm roughly profiting about $26.76 per item that I sell for this unit. Okay, if I go back to this sheet here and I pull up my calculator, we're going to show you guys what the numbers are live on screen. Okay, so I'm buying 400. Let's just say I sold 400 units in this past 30 days, right? Which, if we go back, we can see that that's exactly what I did. 400 units, 400 orders past 30 days. Okay. 400 multiplied by our profit, which is going to be $26.76. So 26.76. That gives us $10,704. Okay. So on our actual sheet, we get pretty close to that. We're about a little bit off, right? We're I would say 9,400. We're about $1,000 off. Now, keep in mind that doesn't include any returns that we might have, things like that. If inventory comes back in and we have to refund a client for that, right? These items are pretty expensive. So if we have, 5 or 10 of them, you're already going to get $1,000 right there. And also the shipping as well. Okay. So just from this one SKU, we've managed to generate this store $9,400 in profit. Okay. That would be net. That means that after all expenses is going to go directly into that client's bank account after he pays everything. And that's just from one item. So if we go back to the total sales, just to give you guys an idea of what this looks like. And I know that I put this the other day on my Instagram as well. And I'm going to refresh it again here just so you guys can see that this isn't any nonsense here. This is the total gross sales. So 72,891. This is for multiple SKUs on the account, but this item is the one that was selling the majority of the time in the past 30 days. All right. And so I'm going to verify this number. We're going to get pretty close to this number. if we go to our overall sales that we can see here on our sheet, we're about 69,720. That's pretty damn close in what we were able to generate. It's going to be a couple percentages off because of real numbers, and nothing is ever fully 100% accurate, especially when you're dealing with Amazon. But there you have it, everybody. This is the first time I've actually gone deep dived into a store, showed you guys the actual product, showed you guys the actual account that it was selling on, calculated the profit per unit, and watched it in real time play out to see how much profit was actually made based off what the numbers tell us. Now, keep in mind, this pulls directly from the account, everybody. This isn't, I'm not manually inputting these numbers. This pulls directly from Amazon's API, and so we get the data actually live. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I try to keep the video under 10 minutes so that it's not super boring, but I am going to go ahead and, as promised, do a giveaway. So for everyone who likes, comments, and subscribes to this channel and sends me a screenshot of that on Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and do a giveaway, cash giveaway of $100. Some of you guys don't give a crap about $100. That's cool. Those of you who want the $100, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to be picking one winner to do it in the next couple of days. I'm really trying to give and provide as much value here to show you the ins and outs that starting an Amazon account is not as complicated as it seems. We just went through one product in less than 10 minutes, calculating fees, and saw that it actually sold. Okay.